What up, Dylan? I'm Red Death, and come with me today. We're gonna be going back to places where I used to live in my past. When I was a kid, I moved around a lot, and I'm at one of the locations I live. Most places I lived, probably like a year and a half, maybe 2 years, but we moved around a lot as a kid. Let's go check this out. Okay, I lived around here when I was, I believe, just turned 15. So I was 15 years old. I know I didn't celebrate my 16th birthday, so maybe a year and a half I lived here. We got one of these signs. I used to live right there, right in this balcony, right here. I remember sneaking out, climbing up this little edge right here. Yeah. Well, since I got y'all here, I'm gonna give you guys an update. I didn't shoot a video last week. I ended up going to urgent care. Wasn't feeling good. Had a lot of wheezing, and my lungs felt pretty full with phlegm. It's gross. I don't want to get in detail, but anyway, yeah, you can hear me. I'm not 100%, but so I ended up going to urgent care, and they sent me to the ER. And they said, "Oh, you might have pneumonia in my lungs," which they ended up finding out I do. They said I had a little bit of pneumonia in my right lung. So they gave me antibiotics. That was Monday of this week. Today's Saturday. I'm feeling a lot better. My lungs are not 100%. But then again, I don't think my lungs were ever 100%. About 2 years ago, I think I had RSV, Google RSV. I didn't get diagnosed it, but I tried to get it diagnosed it, but my lungs haven't really been the same since. I've always had this wheezing going on. I usually feel when I'm laying down at night. So right now I have a little bit of it still going on. It's not really going away, but I feel like the pneumonia's gone away. Like I feel really good. My lungs are a little annoying right now. A little bit of wheezing and stuff, but it's not super bad like it was. I don't think it's ever going away right now. I kind of feel like I hit a wall. I took the rest of my antibiotics, and so I feel like I hit a wall. I don't think my lungs aren't gonna get any better than this, but I'm gonna have to see a doctor and figure what the heck's going on. But that's not why we're here. We're here to reminisce. Just shows you the apartment I used to live in. Like these. These are called Peachtree Apartments. I'm actually at 16 in Groesbeck, 16 Mile in Groesbeck. Southeastern Michigan for the rest of the world. We call it the East Side, which it is the East Side. I'm not too far from Detroit. This area I have a lot of memories in. Like I said, I probably lived here about a year and a half. A lot of memories in that time. I mean, I still hung out in this area a little bit after I moved away. I had a lot of friends out here. But this is kind of not really my home, I guess. After here, we moved to Casa Romeo Plank, or 19 Romeo Plank, whatever you want to call it. I moved over there, but I didn't really have any friends in that side of town. So I ended up going to Mount Clemens adult ed, and after that, Mount Clemens became my home. So before I was 17, I moved around a lot, so I don't really have a place to call home. Before I moved over this way, I had like 2 friends my whole life, pretty much, because I moved around so much. I didn't really have a place to say I grew up. Until Mount Clemens became my home, then I finally had a place to call home. We're gonna walk over here. I used to play street hockey. Never was into hockey, but I had a friend of mine that was big into hockey, And he used to play street hockey with him and his friends. He rollerblade and whatnot. I can never rollerblade or anything, but I still play with them on foot. I kind of play more defense because I couldn't keep up as well, you know, with no skates. But we're just gonna walk over here and walk back. Like I said, I moved around a lot, so it's weird being around here, just walking around on foot. I mean, I drive in this area a little bit. There's a Dollar Tree I shop at right by here, but I never stopped to think and look around, reminisce a little bit, and I figured I'd do that on a video. You know, yeah, we used to play hockey right here. Put like a goal right here and a goal down there somewhere. Maybe where that maroon car is. So I remember we used to play street hockey right here a lot. Oh, there's like this fence right here. There's never a fence. I had some friends that lived in those condos over there. So when I was a kid, well, a teenager, I used to come down to this bridge a lot. Wow, it's changed. Some of my friends I know for years remember this. Wow. So I spent a lot of my time down here in my teens and in my 20s when I was a youngster. Wow, pretty cool though. I'm actually by my mother's house. She still lives out this way. I really don't want to show you guys where my mom is. I don't think it's anybody's business. But yeah, this is where I spent a lot of my young life pondering, going through stuff. So I'm currently driving to a house I lived. I think I was like 4 or 5 years old. I'm driving right now. I'm in St. Clair Shores, Michigan. That's where my parents are originally from. I'm going to a house I lived at. I'm just going to do a little drive-by. It's not really a neighborhood. I really can't park on the street and like walk down the sidewalk or anything. But I do want to pull on the street and show you the house I lived in. I don't know if it's the same exact house, but it's the second house, kind of from the corner. It's really not a corner to this house, but it's coming up here shortly. It's on Trombley Street, which is the name of the street. This way is the water, Lake St. Clair. St. Clair Shores is kind of a nice area. I lived here when I was really small, basically a baby. I think the oldest I was 4 or 5 years old when I lived over here. Here's Trombley Street right here. So right here on your left where that orange Charger is. It's not the same house, but that's the location. Yeah, it was that house right there. Wait, actually no, that's not it. I was a couple houses in. It's right where that brick house is. Right there. Wow, it is the same house. I thought it was closer. I'm glad I went down to here. But I remember driving through this neighborhood as a kid on my big wheel. And that one house to the left I just showed was my mom's best friend. And she had a son my age. And basically he was my best friend through my childhood. But we grew apart as we got older. He wasn't into things I was into. I ended up having new best friends, which you heard me talk in other videos. But yeah, there's another part of St. Clair Shores that I lived in, or St. Clair Shores that I lived in. But I'm not gonna go down that street. It's kind of like the same deal. But I don't know exactly like which house it really was, because that whole corner of that area where I lived at is all different. Maybe if I had my mom and my aunt with me, they can tell me which house it used to be, because it's too different. So I don't even know if it's really worth my time going that way to show you. It'd have to be another drive-by, which I'm good. I've moved around so much in life, I can't really show you everywhere I live at. Some places maybe even shorter than a year. That's not even worth my time to show you. Just so many places I'm showing you, I have actually a lot of memories, or or I do remember that far back, just like the house I just showed you. That's probably the oldest house, well, actually, no, the house I lived at before that, I wanted to show you, but I'm not going to. That house is probably the farthest back my memories go. And probably that's leading up to 4 years old. I remember some glimpses or whatnot, but I don't notice this area that well. This part looks kind of new. Yeah, this is like new. I'm not too far from where I live at now. Just a city over. Actually, near my work right now. I wanted to go up to Sterling, or 23 Mile and Gratiot area, which is New Baltimore, or Chesterfield, I'm sorry. I wanted to go up there because there was a mobile home park that I lived at. It was about a year of my life, but I was 10 years old, so it was like my best memories of my childhood. Great memories, but it's a mobile home, so that, there's no sidewalks, there's nowhere to park unless you know somebody. So it would be one big drive-by, which I don't want to keep doing these. I'd rather get out and walk and chat with you guys. Right now, look at me, I'm driving and talking, which is probably so illegal. Speculation, whatnot. Yeah, so I'm about to take you to one more location, which is right by. I kind of mentioned it in my walk to St. Clair video. I mentioned like where I live at now. It's like literally like 2 apartments over. Like, we're about to just walk there. That's how close it is. I remember I turned 14 when I lived over there, right before that Peachtree Apartments I just showed you guys. I lived there, and it was my my first like kind of relationship, my first kiss and whatnot happened in a complex that we're about to go to. Probably a big memory for a preteen or just becoming a teenager, you know what I'm saying? Does this go out? Am I gonna keep going circles here? I think this goes out to Harper. I'm trying to get to Harper, back towards my house, 16 and Harper. But yeah, I'm glad you guys are watching. Like and subscribe. I've been wanting to do this for a minute. I really do want to do more locations with you guys. Maybe I'll do like a part 2 one day and show you more locations. But like I said, a lot of these locations, it's hard to either tell or walk around, and you know what I mean. Some of it's not even worth my time. Some places it's just so short of living in my life. I mean, I could go to my adulthood. Right now, I'm just showing you like teenager, to kid, young, I'm not showing like my, growing up in my 20s, or fucking in my 30s, places I lived as an adult. I'm not showing them kind of places. Those too soon, not many great memories, you know what I mean? You know, I was an adult. Now I'm a grown man, so those are different kind of memories. This is more like a walk down memory lane. Excuse me. Oh, this is where I work at. JVS USA. Really, right there. I've been there for almost 3 years. It'll be 3 years August in 2 months. But okay, we're here in Parkway Village. Like I was saying, I lived at when I was just turning 14. I had my first kiss. Well, the chick I knew, she was my girlfriend. She used to babysit her nephew? No, her cousin. And that's how I knew her, from living in here. I want to show you my apartment. But like I was saying about that house I just showed you, one of the memories I remember, we went back to the house. Well, my neighbor's house. Remember I said my mom's best friend? Well, her husband owned the house next to us. And when we went back one day to clean the house, because I guess they were going to sell it, I was still really young. And we found one of our old toys, a Darth Vader figure. We found him. And I guess because we threw it on the roof of the house, but we ended up finding it years later. It was one of the memories I remember of that house. Yeah, this is the pool. I remember I turned 14 over here. So I had to be 14 to watch myself in a pool. And this pool has been closed down probably since the 90s when I was a kid. But I remember this tree right here where I met that chick. Because her aunt lived in there where she watched her cousin. I remember there was like a picnic table leaning against this tree, and I had a basketball, and I would pretend to dunk it right here, like this is my basketball hoop. And I was out here doing that. She was sitting there, and I met her right there. My apartment was right here. I think that was my mom's bedroom window. Me and my brother used to wrestle in my mom's room because she had a big ass bed, and that was our wrestling ring. We wanted to be wrestlers. And my bedroom window was that one to the right. Yeah, this is where we lived at when I was 14. I remember there was a neighbor chick used to watch somebody over there I had a crush on. And I had a friend, Ernie, that lived up there. It's always a trip walking around here though. I live like right here. I'm like walking distance. I was walking for exercise to walk around here all the time. And I would always have memories and stuff around here. Like I said, I wish I can go to other locations, but there's just so many moving. As you can see, I'm like, yeah, I lived here when I was 14. I lived here when I was 15. Like, so I'm saying it's like a year or two apart, you know. I didn't live many places for very long until I was 17, and my mom stopped moving around. She finally had enough money to keep the same place. That's where that bridge I showed you at the beginning of my video. Like I said, I don't want to show you where my mom lived or my dad lived. You know, I lived with my dad for like 6 months when I was 17. I don't know. I mean, my dad wouldn't care if I shot a video. He lives in Mount Clemens. He wouldn't care if I shot a video, but I don't know. I just want to keep that out of the public's eyes where my mom and dad live, you know. I just feel it's nobody's business. yeah, I got a lot of memories around here, you know. Even though I only lived here for like a year. But it's crazy how the memories work. You know what I mean? If you like to see a part 2, let me know. Put it in the comments, you know. I wish I could do so much more. I mean, there is so much more I could actually shoot. But, you know, some of these videos could be 2 hours long. And I don't want to bore you with my own life for 2 hours. Maybe get into more like something you'd be interested in. But thanks for watching. Peace out.